Alright guys, welcome to EXI tutorial number 2. We're going to cover different sketch functions that are offered by Creo 3 in the parametric view. So some of the functions that we're going to talk about and go through are the revolve, helical sweep, sweep, mirror, shell, and extruding text. So let's go over how to do the revolve tool. So I've opened up a new part called revolve, so I just went up to File, created new, and then created revolve. I'm already on it, so let's go ahead and click the revolve icon here and create or select the plane that we will make our 2D shape from. And in the revolve tool, it'll bring you to the plane, it'll bring up the sketch function, and then you'll have to sketch half of the front profile of your shape that you're trying to make, and then you'll revolve it around an axis. So let's just go over that in really basic terms. So let's say that I want to make an apple. If I look at an apple from the front, I'll have to make half of the front profile of an apple. So I'll show you what that looks like. Let's say I want to make my apple 2 inches tall. Make that to 2. Zoom in. Alright. So when I say draw half of the front profile of your apple, I mean look at the apple from the front and it looks like a 2D shape from the front, and then just ignore one half of it and draw the other half. So first I'm going to take the line tool and draw the stem of my apple. Then I'll take the spline curve, which is a tool that allows you to make really nice curved lines, and I'll use this to make the front profile, half the front profile of my apple. Okay, so now that I've done that, I take the center line, and this is really important, this is the whole revolve part. You take the center line and you create it on the place at which this half of an apple will revolve around, and apples aren't hollow, so you will want to make this axis of revolution right on the edge of the apple. So we'll click OK, and wow, I have a beautiful apple. So click check. And if I look at the front profile again, let's see here, move it down. This was just my half of the profile that I drew, duplicated or mirrored on the other side. So that's how you create an apple using the revolve tool. Alright, so let's go ahead and learn how to use the helical sweep tool of Creo. So the helical sweep tool is used to make threads on screws or springs. So I'm just going to show you guys how to make a spring today, and it'll be pretty self-explanatory by the end of this to know how to make threads on a screw. So let's go into helical sweep. So we'll have to choose a plane on which the threads will revolve around. So let's go to References, Define, and choose the front plane. Click Sketch, and it'll take me to the front plane. Now, like always, we'll create a center line around which the threads will revolve. Now let's make a line to show where the threads start. To tell the program that I want to start the spring on this line and make it that far away from the axis of revolution, I go into References, and it has already chosen this line for me. So I click Close, click OK. Now this is the second phase in the helical sweep. I'll go into the editing section, and let's make some square threads here. So I'll make my profile of my thread, click OK, and it'll revolve around this axis that I created. So now you have some great springs, and if you print it in metal, or if you have the capability to print it in wood or something like that, then you can make a pretty fine set of springs. So now you can just use the same procedure to create threads on a screw. So first you make the shaft of the screw and then create those threads using the trajectory and the sketch. Okay, so now let's go through how to use the sweep tool, which is different from helical sweep, as you'll see in a moment. Let's create a new file, call it sweep. Click OK. So The sweep tool is really helpful for making curved extrusions, because when we were learning how to do extrusions in the first video, we didn't go over how to make rectangles swoop around on a line or make anything curved for that matter, except for extruding a circle, but it would still extrude into a cylinder. So today we're going to learn how to make some of the coolest things you'll ever see in your life. So let's go into the sketch function first, and the reason we do that is it makes it easier to do the sweep function once we've made the actual line that we want to sweep on. Alright, so let's make something super cool. This is super random. Click OK, and now we go into the sweep tool. Now we define the place at which we want to start our sweep, so if you click the opposite one, it'll start at the one that I want to start at. And we click Edit Sweep Section. So we'll start at the place where I just selected, make a circle, let's say. Actually, let's make an ellipse because I'm feeling fancy. Okay, and wow, we just made some ribbon. So exciting. So this is a very powerful tool because you can make anything. You can make curved letters, something to hold your keys without making too much of an extrusion mess. It's some good stuff. Alright, so now we're going to go over how to do the mirror tool, which is also really quick. So I'll make a new file, call it mirror. Alright, so let's start by extruding a cube. Just my dimensions here, make this a 1-inch cube. Zoom back in, click OK. Oh, that's fun. Make this 1, so it's actually a cube. And then go back to standard orientation. Now, I'm going to extrude something, and then the mirror tool is going to allow me to mirror that on another face. So it's great for making something symmetrical. So I'm going to go ahead and do something really crazy, something that'd be impossible to make symmetrical. Use that spline curve because that's your best friend pretty much. Click OK. And let's remove it through the cube. There we go. Alright, so we have this extrusion that's an odd shape, and you want to make it symmetrical across the other side of it. So we click on the extrusion, click mirror, and then click the face on which we want to reflect it. So we click that, click OK, and now you've got this wonderful shape that kind of looks like a butterfly. So that's how you use the mirror tool to mirror any extrusions or any features that you have across another face. Next we're going to talk about the shell tool, and that allows you to make a shell of what you have just extruded. So let's go ahead and use this butterfly cube again. To do the shell tool, it's very simple. You just click shell, click the face that you want to shell out or carve out, and then you have the box with a hollow butterfly in it. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. So lastly, we're going to talk about extruding text, and this is really fun because you can personalize any objects that you give to someone, and it makes it really special for the person that's receiving it. So let's say you want to give this lovely butterfly box to your friend named Joe. So to do that, we're going to extrude, and extruding text is within the extrude function. So here is the text place. We selected a plane. And we're now going to draw a line that shows where the beginning of the text starts. And we're going to draw it from bottom to top because we want to read it right side up from left to right. So we'll draw that. And for my pal Joe here, I'm going to make this butterfly box. Now you can use the aspect ratio to condense your letters or widen them depending on how large your face is, and since our face is not very large, we'll condense it a little bit. You can also slant it, make it italicized, reset that. And you can also change the fonts. There are many fonts that Parametric already has for you to choose from, so if I want to do this one, I can make it all fancy. Click OK. And now I have a personalized butterfly box for Joe. So those are some of the really helpful tools in Creo that you can use. I hope this video was helpful. It was really long, but I think it was worth it because you could use a lot of this stuff. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.